working on this military portrait of a man who served in Iraq, and right now we're getting pretty close to being done. Just a few more highlights and nuances to bring out in the face. So what I want to do is make sure I have the nuance here in the nose correct, and I'm going to take some red orange mixed with a little bit of yellow ochre and white, and I'm going to roll that right in, and we're just going to put it right around the nose here to blend some of the previous layers. The glazing technique, it's really easy to blend in. You can go right over what you've done and not affect anything. I'm going to add a little bit also to his cheek here, just to make it look a little fuller. Looking at this man, he kind of has cheeks that really, I don't know if you want to say puff out, but they just are very prominent when he smiles, and I want to capture that. It's just part of his look. Then I want to also get a highlight there going right on the cheek to again make it look a little more prominent. So I'm going to use a little white, toned down by just a bit of yellow ochre. And we'll put that right here in the center and just kind of blend it a little bit with our finger. That's how I do it. I just kind of tap it in that way right with my finger. And then I'm gonna see if I can get a little more highlights on the teeth as well, just to give them a little more depth. That helps. I want to darken a little bit around his eye, just to make sure that I have the dimension there. Sometimes it's really easy to want to keep the eyes white, but they're rarely ever white in a painting. They've got to be a little bit darker so that the reflection on the eyes can be almost white. And if you make the eyes white, they won't look right. The reflections on the eyes are almost white. And darken a little bit down here to get a little more dimension on his lips. And then there's a little highlight there by his nose that I want to capture. I'll take a little bit of yellow ochre and the red orange. And we'll go back into that. See if we can get that highlight in there. Make sure I don't go too low with it, because his nose is up a little higher. He's kind of a more prominent upper lip. I'll have to get the shadow underneath the nose as well to pull that off. Might have to take that up just a bit higher than what I thought. Just a bit higher. Kind of work that into our shadow on the nose. This red-orange color blend it into the nostril area, just like that. Tap it a little bit with our finger, just blend it. And I might have to let that dry and go over it a little bit more. And then I see his nostril should come over a little bit this way. I mean this way, I mean to the right. And darken this wrinkle by his smile, by his mouth a little bit more. We're going to get a little cooler tone, so we'll take some of our raw umber dark mixed with ultramarine blue into that. Just dab it a little bit to tone it down. That's really easy to do. If you apply too much of the glaze, you can always just dab it with your finger, and then later on you'll have to maybe clean off your fingers a little bit, but yeah, painting's a messy process sometimes, but I would say that acrylic is much less messy than oil. I remember when I was doing an oil painting, and I haven't done a lot, but I've done some back in an art class, and I had a little bit on my hand or whatever, and then it was all over my clothes and just kind of spreads everywhere since it doesn't really dry. But anyway, that's just a little bit more on the portrait, and you can see this is really coming alive now, and it's really looking lifelike, and it's getting there, it's getting close. So just want to show you a couple of tips here for highlights and nuances. I hope this helps, and if you're seeing this video on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up if you like it, and also share it with your friends. And then if you would like to get art tutorials sent right to your email inbox, you can subscribe to my art news at mattphilleo.com. So anyway, be blessed and enjoy painting. We'll talk to you soon.